husband at a party and said, if you guys ever want a threesome, Lisa Barlow can give me a good referral because I had a threesome with her and her husband. Now Lisa went absolutely crazy because she's like, "You're insinuating that my husband and I have threesomes, which we don't. This is Salt Lake and Mormon County, so just let's just put that all out." So this is just one example. I mean, so are things going to be okay? I mean, all the other women, there's a lot of other, this woman, Meredith, she had issues with this woman, Angie. Believe it or not, our podcast was kind of in the middle of that based on an interview we did, whatever. And then this woman, Bronwyn, but like Lisa, I guess if we just want to pick an example, this cast left completely fractured because they all heard these horrible things about each other. But like if you
Right.
take Lisa and Whitney as an example, I mean, Lisa went crazy, like that. You're basically saying my husband, and Whitney got very upset because Lisa got up and then walked out. And the others there were like, well, you talk about my marriage, you talk about my marriage. Lisa talks about our marriage. There's a double standard. I mean, but we can't talk about Lisa's marriage. So are Lisa and Whitney going to be okay? Is the show going to be okay? Can we come back from this? Because it ended in a disaster between them all.
Well, okay. So first of all, I do think we're coming back. It's coming back. I don't stress yourself. I do kind of think that they'll be okay. Well, there's still going to be a little drama over it. I don't know why Whitney gets so, tied up in a knot about that because I feel like maybe it was because it was public, not because she didn't come to them privately, if you catch my drift.
Is your drift that maybe there are three Psalms in Lisa's
Oh yeah,
marriage?
absolutely. I kind of when you started talking about the whole crew, not saying anything about, Mormons or anything
Right.
like that, but these people feel feisty, like they feel crazy, like I feel like they're behind the doors is probably another show on its own. Just
I
saying.
mean, you get a vibe like that from a lot of these women on the show, not to stereotype about Salt
Yeah.
Lake but so you think what there could be some truth to that with Lisa Barlow and her marriage, but she's
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. Yes, there absolutely is. It's funny. I want people to remember this. How you can tell when somebody is lying is when they get over dramatic about what you're saying. So if somebody blows up like that and runs out of the room and slams the door and it causes all kinds of chaos, you can almost guarantee that 90% of what was coming out of somebody's mouth was probably true. So, with
That's a
that
good
being
point.
said, yes, so that she just was, I think, upset because it was said publicly.
Interesting. That's a good point. I mean, well, not to bring it back to Kyle Richards we talked about, but there was this whole thing where she sent a text to Dorit's in a separation from her husband PK, and
Hmm.
her and Kyle and PK were texting, and Dorit found out, the other ladies found out, and Dorit got upset, I think rightfully so. And Kyle was like, well,
Hmm.
all I did was send him jokes and memes. And then the other ladies were like, read the text. And Kyle went crazy. Also, in a way, rightfully so. Like you want me to actually, it is a little bit insulting if I tell you I
Yeah, yeah.
texted and they're like, read the text. But I mean, she went insane, and everyone's like, well, she read the text and it wasn't just jokes and memes, and people are like, so really she just lied to us. And then this is when she quit, to bring it back to that. That is when she walked off and she went so crazy. And it's like, but she was lying and she's going so crazy to deflect from what's actually happening here. You were caught in a lie. You're texting your quote unquote friends ex. She wasn't interested in him romantically. It just is like a breach of like girl code. So
Right.
to your point, I guess that is the same as Lisa storming out of the
Yeah.
final scene, like you say,
Yep.
that if there's truth to it, you go crazy. Because if someone's saying something so absurd about yourself that's a lie, you're just like, yeah, sure. We
Right.
have
Right.
threesomes, foursomes, swinging from the chandeliers, whatever, because it's just so not true.
Yeah, it's so well, and that that's just every day, folks. Like when you're dealing with somebody, if if they are off the chart upset, like if your man is saying, no, you can't see his phone, he throws a big fit, there's probably because there's something on the freaking phone. I mean, it's just
It's just what it
nature.
is.
It
Yeah.
is just nature. It's human nature.
I didn't think of it like that. Well, now I have a picture going on about Lisa and John Barlow in my head that I cannot get out of my head, which
Sorry.
isn't even the worst picture. They both are attractive, and so I'm not so opposed to that picture, but it's there now.
You're
Well,
welcome.
I know. Well, thank you for that. I mean, I do. Anything else you want to leave us with before we, any just words of
Oh,
wisdom as people get through this strange
okay.
energy this week?
It is really strange, folks, and it's probably going to go on for a couple of more weeks. Be kind with your words, think before you speak, meditate, and remember this too shall pass. It is just a part of life. You got to learn to deal with it. Stay indoors, watch movies, don't pick up the phone, and do not send an email unless you reread, and reread.
Yes, that is the one that I like to just, I get upset and I'm like, sent. And it's like, well, I just set a whole bunch of things in motion over here, but oh well.
Yeah,
But
yeah, not a
I
good
agree with
idea.
that. Not a good idea. And I'm always a proponent for staying indoors. So I agree. And
Yes.
everyone could download the Psychic Source app. And if you enter code VELVET, your first reading is $20 for 35 minutes. And I think we talked about this before. If you don't like the reading you are getting, you click reading now, then you can stop it because the 35 minutes is a bank. So if you use 3 minutes and you're not feeling it, you said 3 minutes, you have
Right.
32 minutes left. Just speak up and just say to your psychic, I'm so sorry. I want to end this
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. There is absolutely no shame in that because I mean you're ultimately paying for it and you want something that where you're going to connect. And people don't always connect. So if you don't feel that connection in 3 minutes, tell the psychic thank you, you appreciate it, and hang up the phone. We do not get offended or upset by that at all. Well,
It's like a
most days.
therapist. Have you ever gone
It
to a
is.
therapist where you're just like, not for me, and then you go to another one, and then your third one, you're like, oh, such a
This is pretty
great
good.
fit. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
I really feel, and all the psychics are good. If you want to go to Psychic Robin, you have an extension,
Yeah.
right?
I do, but I've got
I can
walking
share
pneumonia. For
it.
the life of me, I
It's okay.
cannot think of it.
I will share. They can just type in your name,
Yeah.
ROBBIN, but all the psychics
Hmm.
are good. You have to click psychic now. Do not schedule it for the future because then you do not get the code. You
Right.
do not get the discount, and $20 is unheard of. So, well, you will be back. You have to keep in touch. I really
I
appreciate
will. I
you.
will.
I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Just
I
stay in and take your
appreciate
own
you.
advice. Stay off
I, I,
email, stay off the phone, and just stay
I
in.
am totally going to do it. Watch movies and cuddle is my plan.
I love it. So keep in touch and we'll talk.
Okay. Bye bye.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.